The reaction which came from Delhi was not really surprising for us. We could make out that this whole thing was staged to create some sort of crisis in the region, particularly for us. I personally and our government also in the last 2 days, we have condemned it categorically, without any reservation, that terrorism in all its forms is something which should be condemned as strongly as possible. This is something Pakistan has been victim of terrorism for decades, and perhaps no other country in the world has suffered so much from terrorism as Pakistan because of the wars in Afghanistan in the 80s, and then in the previous decade and decade before that. So we are very familiar the pain it inflicts on the people in the country and the nation when we are subjected to terrorism. But this sort of pattern which is going on in India, when President Clinton was there, there was a terrorist attack on Sikhs. 40 or 44 died in that, and it was blamed that some never heard of that organization which orchestrated this whole terrorist attack. This time again, the people who are being accused are not known, never heard of the organization. Lashkar-e-Taiba is a name from the past. It is totally defunct. It does not exist. It is very convenient for the big powers to blame Pakistan for whatever is happening in this region. When we were fighting the war on their side in way back in the 80s against Soviet Union, all these terrorists of today, they were whining and dining in Washington, and then came the 9/11 attacks. Again, the same situation was repeated. I think our governments then made a mistake. They were being used as proxy by United States also. They were actually these Talibans, or before that, the people who were who visited Washington, and they were very treated like VIPs in those days. They're all mixed up. They're not multiple organizations. They're just one single organization, religiously organized, and with different faces, different leadership. At times they work together, at times they fight with each other. So it's a long discussion. I don't want to get into that. This has happened before also, Pulwama, which will later prove to be a false flag operation. And it was confirmed by the Indian media, Indian sources that it was a false flag operation. Pakistan had nothing to do with Pulwama. And later on, when they attacked Pakistan after Pulwama, we downed their fighter. And ultimately, we, as a goodwill gesture, we returned the pilot to them. And the things ultimately, cooled down. This time again, they are repeating the same thing. An incident took place in occupied Kashmir, and they are blaming us for that. And our media has never heard the organization they are mentioning behind this attack in Kashmir day before yesterday. No, we are not worried. If it comes to a fight, if India attacks us, we'll retaliate in kind. There's absolutely no doubt in our minds. They never came up for any evidence for these incidents in Kashmir. Any evidence till now? They have in last 10, 15 years, 3-4 incidents have taken place, but they never came up with any evidence. Just to blame Pakistan for something. and create a situation for their own advantage. That doesn't mean that Pakistan is because Lashkar-e-Taiba in the past had some linkages in Pakistan. We have nothing to. There is no Lashkar-e-Taiba does not exist in Pakistan anymore. It is extinct. My dear, if the parent organization does not exist, how can the offshoot take birth? Our intelligence agencies, they say otherwise. They said it's all staged. It was staged in Pulwama also, and we were proved correct then. And India did not pursue that after the air attack, and their plane was downed, and we returned there. The things cooled down then. Well, we have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain. That was a mistake, and we suffered for that. And that is why you are saying this to me. If we had not joined the war against Soviet Union, and later on the war after 9/11, this Pakistan's track record, was not, unimpeachable track record. We are already prepared for it. We are already prepared for it. Any eventuality which takes place in next 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days or week or 10 days, we will retaliate and we'll react to that, in kind. We will measure our response to whatever is initiated by India according to that. It would be a measured response. If there is an all-out, attack or something like that, then obviously there will be an all-out war. Yes, I think so. The clash between two nuclear powers is always worrisome. I think the world, the attitude which has been adopted by India over the years repeatedly, especially since the takeover by BJP, the power in Delhi, these things are taking place with quite frequency. So this is something which world should be, focusing at, because there are the two nuclear powers in the subcontinent, and if things get wrong, there could be a tragic outcome of this confrontation. If I have to give them a message, is that we are neighbors. We have problems. We have some very serious problems with each other, especially over Kashmir. But we should be solving our problems through negotiations. We have had negotiations in the past, but we don't have those negotiations mechanism anymore between our two countries. That they have abandoned the treaty which was negotiated way back in 1960 by the World Bank. This Sindh Water, Accord. So they have abandoned that, which is a very serious breakdown between the two countries. The relation between the two countries is a serious breakdown. It is underwritten by the World Bank. This treaty, they cannot abandon this treaty just like that. This is a serious blow to the relationship between the two countries. I think India should not be resorting to such measures. This will escalate the situation, and there's a possibility that there is a outbreak of all-out war, which will have serious repercussions not only for our region, for our countries, but rest of the world also.
And what message?
We should refrain from that. We should take measures to stop any situation from flaring up to a level which will be irreversible. Definitely, he leads the world power, the sole world power, and he has been talking to different parties in different flashpoints all over the world. And this is also a flashpoint in this, which has two nuclear powers daggers drawn with each other. I think the attention of the world should be drawn to this this situation, and if the world power can intervene and there's some sort of sanity can be brought to this situation, it will be good. Otherwise, if there is an initiative by India, we'll respond in kind. we will not have any option. Have absolutely no option.